Rami, whatever's easier for you outside in the big, big world. I'm here with a good friend and a fellow artist from Israel who has been, I think, handling a career basically on your own for the last 15 years, I would say, more or less.
More or less.
Rami Fainshtein is here with me.
Shalom.
I'm very happy to be able to have a place that I can invite you to be a guest.
Very nice of you. Thank you.
So how are you?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Same thing. Very tall. Very, yeah.
So,
Everything is
I don't remember exactly how we met. I think MySpace had something to do with it. Back in those days, for those of you that remember MySpace, that was a place where bands would start to spam just about everybody they knew.
Right.
And try to book shows, and we were actually quite successful booking shows back then using that platform, and I think we kind of got in touch.
No, I think through a mutual friend, but Nitzana.
Oh yeah, all right. Okay, yes, like I said, I don't exactly remember how it happened, but
yeah, I'm not insulted that you don't remember how we met. I mean,
it's just like you've
would
always
have been
been
different
there.
if I was your wife.
Well,
But,
yeah,
you know.
no.
We're just guys.
We're just guys, exactly. But we've had sort of a parallel career because you've released 3 albums.
Right.
I released 2 albums and an EP. But you're sort of self-made. You've invested everything yourself. You kind of found a way to do it. You've been on multiple tours in the United States and elsewhere. We were always kind of crossing each other in the Tel Aviv music scene, and
Right.
and I think that's like already something that's very commendable, is because it's
Right.
definitely
And
not.
we had a few shows together.
And we had a few shows together. So I mean, for me, it's sort of like ever since I got to Israel, you've kind of always been there.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
And
Me and Bibi.
You and Bibi. No, I think who was actually the prime minister when I got here?
Maybe Bibi.
Maybe Bibi. It could be. Let me think. 2001. 2000. What was it? Bibi? No, it was Sharon.
Oh yeah, 2000.
It was Barak and then Sharon and then yeah. Anyway, so I was here for the Nakut, so that's definitely Sharon. Actually, politics. That would be interesting. No, we don't want to go. We don't even want to go there. So you were born in the U.S.
Right. When I was born in New Jersey in Paramus. When I was 2 years old, I decided that the Jewish people should live in Israel.
You decided to do an aliyah.
Exactly. So my parents, they just came along, and we immigrated to Israel. We made aliyah. We lived in Herzliya and Ra'anana for a few years, and then in a settlement called Sha'arei Tikva.
Okay.
And most of my adult life, I've been living in Tel Aviv, like you.
All right. So you went from being like a settler.
Well, still at heart. Still at heart.
A settler at heart.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But now I live in Tel Aviv.
So now you're like one of those.
My family still, my mother and sister, they still live in Sha'arei Tikva.
And I'm very insulted that I've never been there for dinner. Shabbat dinner.
That's right. It's good,
Yeah.
good food.
Good. Yeah. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. So.
Okay then.
Okay, so you have a 4 on me basically by having 3 full albums, but you only have 1 kid.
Right.
Right. So you
I
had
do.
a kid.
I have
you
one
had a
kid
child,
and I have one on the way.
and 1 on the way. So Mazal Tov.
One in the oven.
1 in the oven, and your wife and I actually share last names.
That's right. That's right.
So she's an
Soli,
Eini. and
Eini.
I want to send a shout out to the beautiful Soli Eini, Iraqi.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so how do you feel about being now, a parent and an independent musician? I guess if it wasn't hard enough before, here you go. There's another element to just kind of make that a little bit more impossible. But you're not giving up because I see you're still active. You're still doing your thing.
Right. Well, for me, it's not. It's not really a possibility to give up. Not because it's just not the concept that I use, because once you decide that this is who you are, and this is what it's like for you to say, I'm giving up on water, giving up on oxygen. So for me, it's kind of the same thing. It's not something that I feel that I could really just decide not to do. It's part of who I am and what I need to survive in this world and to express myself, which is a very basic personal need of mine, to express myself and to tell my stories in this particular way. So the word giving up is not really an option.
It's not in your dictionary.
Yeah, not in this specific.
Not in this specific
area.
But it's. I mean, we kind of started talking about this before a bit, because I remember having a child, and all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're an artist, and all these thoughts start coming through your head. Maybe it's time to grow up. Maybe it's time to put the dream aside. Maybe it's time to become realistic. You have all these responsibilities, and for me it was sort of it was a choice. I thought, like I was looking at my daughter, who is 10 today. It was an amazing. Those cancer.
I think there's a close-up on me because I said Mazal Tov. Mazal Tov.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, no, it's not.
So 10 years ago, I was sitting with her, and she never slept more than an hour and a half at a time. So you have only short moments of sanity in the house. And one of the thoughts that struck me was that, like, isn't it time to become a grown-up, basically? You're a dad now, and my choice was no. I don't want to be that parent to put my dreams aside because my kids, actually the opposite. I want to actually show my kids that I can make whatever I want to happen, and have that be an example.
Right.
And I'm not projecting exactly that thought process on you, but how do you feel with that day-to-day kind of grind?
Well, I definitely agree with you. I definitely feel that it's my job also to lead the way and set an example of someone that pursues his goals in life. Sometimes you have responsibilities, so you need to make compromises. So for me, even if I would take, say, even a full-time job that has nothing to do with music, I would still, during that, at the same time, I would still make time, I don't know, even at night or whatever, in my lunch break or whatever, I would make the time to pursue what I feel that I need to pursue in terms of music.
There's always a way. That's like
right. So just it's not. Of course, you have responsibilities, which sometimes they just have their own kind of way of leading you to a certain direction in life, but you can always do it together. Sometimes the music gets more space and time for you to pursue it, and there's periods that you can really have the time to build your career in this sense, and there are periods that you have less time. But if you always keep going, even in the rough times, so you'll eventually grow to be an artist that is accomplished, that succeeds to leave his mark.
I totally agree. Let's go back a bit in time to simpler times. How did you actually get into this whole music thing? When did you start this journey?
Well, I was writing songs, I guess, as a kid, but it took me a long time to call myself a musician. I'm not educated. I've never really learned. I play the guitar upside down. Everything is like not...
You and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, so, well, there's a few differences maybe, but...
well, he was black.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And it took me a long time I'm not educated, definitely not in a conventional way. And it took me a long time to call myself a musician and feel comfortable.
You're not
saying
musically
that.
educated because you're actually educated in
Right,
other
right. I'm
fields.
talking about, yeah, of course. And so it took me a long time. It was a long process, and I wrote songs as a kid, and I started playing guitar as a teenager, and I even put up an album when I was 18.
Really?
A very political protest kind of album at the time. But I never thought that I was a singer-songwriter, a musician. I just put it out because I felt like somebody needs to say it and no one's saying it, you know. And I think I was maybe 27 or 28 when I said, I finished my BA, and for me it was the course was to go straight to my master's and a doctorate and study and teach and like my father did, and I was very into that world. And then I said, I think I'm going to take a year just to figure out this music thing, maybe take a few courses, maybe perform a little bit and see how it feels. And I took a year, and I never went back to Bar Ilan University. And
that was actually when you started working on your first album?
Right. Yeah, it took a little bit, but yeah. I already had some songs, and I was performing, but I wasn't sure 100% that this is me, this is my life. But then after this year, I understood that this is what I want to do, and this is essential to my being.
To your being. What do you say? I think we can. Do you have? I don't know what songs you came with, but if we're talking about that whole period, do you have maybe a song from the first album that you could give us a little taste of?
Of course, this is the first song from my album. So the first song from my first album. It's called Ten Li Milim. It's about finding your own voice as a musician and also as a person in this world, because many people have done many things, and sometimes everything you do seems so unoriginal. So finding your voice and trying to be original. כבר שרו על הכל, ואני, מה יש לי להגיד? כבר שרו על כאב, ואהבה, ועל תמיד. ועד שיוצא זה קשה ומרגיש, כאילו מקורי. ועד שיוצא זה קשה ופתאום מגלים שכבר כתבו על זה שיר. תן לי מילים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות. אלוהים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות שמחכות. כבר שרו על הכל ועל זה שלא יבוא, על אהבה שבורה, על זה שאת עדיין לא פה, ועד שיוצא זה חוצה ומרגיש כאילו מקורי. אז מה אם כתבו את זה כבר, זה חדש, זה שלי, שרק יהיה שלי. תן לי מילים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות. אלוהים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות שמחכות. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. ועד שיוצא זה חוצה ומרגיש כאילו מקורי. אז מה אם כתבו את זה כבר זה חדש, זה שלי, שרק יהיה שלי. תן לי, תן לי מילים, מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות. אלוהים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות שמחכות למילים. מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות. אלוהים, תן לי מילים, כי יש בי מנגינות רבות שמחכות. תודה.
I like that song.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like that song a lot. It was, I think it's a song that a lot of artists can recognize themselves in. Like, I know a lot of people out there probably don't speak Hebrew, so.
Right. You want to translate the song?
No, that's
Okay.
not, we just.
Go look it up on
Go
YouTube.
look it up on YouTube. Where can they look it up on YouTube?
Oh, well, I have my own channel, Rami Fainshtein, and of course, it's very good always to connect to me on Facebook. All the updates are over there, and if you like my music, there's Bandcamp. You can maybe purchase a few albums and
I guess.
pay for my son's college education.
I was actually trying to do a story, you know, like those Instagram stories, and then you have to write something on it, and you just look like you're completely disinterested. Like, yeah, he's playing his music over there. I'm trying. But I was actually tagging you. I was actually tagging you in the thing.
Okay.
So it's funny with this digital world. Because it's changed so much. I mean, if you think about, like I mentioned it before, but MySpace, I remember when my first album, I think maybe even before my first album, no, it was right when my first album came out. We booked a show, like a tour, with the first band to the United Kingdom, and we did 9 shows in 17 days, all booked through MySpace. And I think you had something similar going on with the United States, right? Because you got in touch with a lot of people and you booked yourself.
Right. Yeah, not through MySpace necessarily, but yeah, I don't know, evolved to during tours in the U.S. At first, I was visiting family, and I had this. There was this place that I went to in the village called the Bitter End.
Yeah.
It's a very famous place in New York. And I just saw the list. They had this list of all the people that had performed there in the past, and it's a crazy list. It's Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Tracy Chapman, Billy Joel, like everybody performed there, and I was like, well, I got to get on this list. I mean, not that they're gonna put me on the. They're not going to brag about it.
There are a few
but just in
100,000 other people that
yeah.
exactly
that didn't make the that's right.
Right.
But still, I got to perform there. I want to be on that very long and yeah, and amazing, prestigious and amazing list. So, what I did the next time I came to visit family or to work, I was working to pay for my album. I was working on
That's a whole subject that I want to talk to you about as well.
So
'cause
anyway,
that's
I
an
was in
incredible
the
story.
okay. I was in the U.S. and then I said, okay, so I'm just gonna. What am I gonna do? So I'm just gonna call this place and talk to whoever and ask them if it's okay for me to have a show there. And I did that, and he looked at my stuff online, and he really liked it. And I was like, and it's okay that I'm singing in Hebrew, right? You know that I'm singing in Hebrew. And he was like, yeah, no problem, just come. And I came, and the first show was very good, and the place was packed, and we had a lot of fun. And since then, I've been there for another 4 times, so and it's a great place to perform. It has like this special atmosphere. So that like in my mind, I was like, why am I just performing in Israel? And there's also Jewish communities in the U.S. which I really connect to in terms of the fact that my family lives there in the U.S. and I came from there. So for me to come to the U.S. and meet a Jewish community and perform for her, especially I usually come in to Israeli Independence Day celebration. So for me to be a part of forming that connection between Jews that live there and Jews that live over here is something very natural that I feel very strongly about. So I've done that many times, and it's I maybe had 4 tours and maybe some other shows. There was like not a formal tour.
Doing one together.
That's right. That's right.
Those responsibilities that we talked about before that kept me from it, but
definitely. But yeah, and I think I went by myself that year.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. I saw some pictures. I was kind of jealous.
Yeah. So that was great, and it's been happening almost every year since then, and I love it. I love just performing in front of Jewish communities in the U.S. and that's great. And also, I've done a few shows for Christians that are very pro-Israel.
Okay.
So they're also interested in Israeli music and Israeli culture, and just to meet, and the energy in the room is also always amazing.
Oh.
Yes, because they're really interested in hearing what you have to say as an Israeli, and it feels like sometimes that they really love you unconditionally, which is something that's, as an Israeli, to feel is very different than what you usually hear in the media. Usually you feel when you open the papers or the internet, whatever, and you see people talking about Israel, you feel very hated. And to meet with those Christians that really love Israel, that's very special to me.
I kind of have I have a strange relationship with that aspect, because I always feel that the people that hate Israel, they hate it for the wrong reasons, and the people that love Israel, I also feel that a lot of times they love it for the wrong reasons. And what you're talking about, unconditional love, or I also get a little bit uncomfortable.
Maybe it's conditional a little bit.
You know what?
You know what? I'll tell you something. When you're loved, it's not a lot. I mean, it's not. You're not loved a lot in this world. You're loved sometimes a little bit in little pieces.
So when take what you can get.
Yeah, when you're loved, why ask question when someone expresses a good vibe, someone is being nice and loving to
absolutely.
you? I say just take it and just and hug them back and just say thank you and leave it at that. I mean, maybe you're right, maybe you're not. But
it's not about right or wrong. But I had this experience when I opened an exhibition right as one of those Gaza wars started. So it was kind of I thought of it as a humanitarian exhibition, but it was, of course, anything that has to do with Israel is political.
Right.
And I remember I had to have protection from the Israeli embassy, and it was in Germany. And so on one hand,
were there people trying to...
No, nobody actually came to demonstrate. I was almost a little disappointed.
Very insulting.
Very insulted. Like, you're not important enough to... But I did have people that were worried about our safety, And so that means there is an actual threat. But on the other hand, the people that showed up and came to the show, they came from Berlin, they came from Hamburg, and that was that feeling of love. They were really appreciative. They wanted to know more about Israel. They wanted to know about an Israeli artist, and it is a really good feeling. I'm not saying that you should.
And
kind
it's
of,
also, they're also good people.
Yeah.
A lot of them are just, just genuine good. For you to even, care about a different country that's not your own, that's just that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do you see around the world that really care about a country? I mean, at least, I'm not talking about hatred, like love something that's not their own.
Yeah.
Just to love something that's not your own, that's amazing. And if they can do that, so I say hug them back,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And,
for sure.
and I've met some amazing people.
Well, being on the road, I think, is one of the most amazing things because you're so vulnerable in a way. So especially if you're touring on your own, or you're playing shows on your own, and there's none of your friends there, and there's no family, there's nobody that you can actually anchor to, and you're not playing with a band, so you don't have that support either. So basically, whatever you're getting from the crowd, that's your human contact for whatever time that lasts.
Yeah, it's also true.
So I think.
But I love it. I love this alone time.
Mhm.
I mean, I miss my wife and my kid like crazy. But other than that, me just having my alone time, just being a musician, and
Come on,
that's
is that every parent's dream is just get some time off?
yeah. Well, yeah. But even before I was a parent, just being 100%. I mean, in Israel, 99.9 of the musicians, even the successful ones, they have another job. They don't just
Yeah.
You need another job because nowadays it's not easy to pay the bills for music. So when you're on tour, you're 100% a musician. You wake up in the morning and you go to sleep, and all you do is just being a musician.
Yeah.
And those few weeks that I go every time are amazing for me in that sense. Just to be a musician.
I actually thought about it a lot because when you start out and you're young and you're cocky and you're sure that you're going to conquer the world, and I was thinking 50,000 people in the audience singing along to my songs, they have this dream. And actually being out there and performing, actually playing in different countries, if you can convert a room, it doesn't matter if there's 20 people or 200 people, or
Of course.
if you can convert a room that doesn't know you,
Amazing.
and make them come on that journey with you and to go through whatever hour or 45 minutes or an hour and a half of show, and
touch them in a certain way, make them feel something, make them think about something.
and
Yeah.
then
amazing.
you have that, and then also be able to get that interaction after the show. I thought that's like when I've played abroad, or this definitely been one of the highlights for me, is just that human interaction during the show, when you kind of feel that, okay, they're on your side now, that like you've got them, they're there with you, and then whatever comes after that is so much like a bonus. I feel it's just being able to talk to people, maybe them showing you around their town afterwards. Or,
Right.
It's
In the U.S. also the junk food. I like the junk food a lot.
oh yeah, I'm not. Well,
I like Costco. I like the pizza.
This
I like McDonald's.
this is only
Not McDonald's. Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
This is only episode 2, and so far it's been like a musically driven thing. But like
Right.
it might go into like the whole yoga and martial arts and after that. So, kids, don't listen to Rami Fainshtein. Don't eat junk food. Come on, save yourselves. Junk food
So much
is the
fun.
devil.
So much fun, but
Actually, I think sugar is the #1 killer
yeah.
in the United States. I think there was like they did a research that it's more than cigarettes, more than people dying in traffic, more than people dying of anything. It's just
Dying from sugar?
dying from sugar-related diseases.
I don't know what you just said. I wasn't listening. So, but you
I was too busy.
Feel free to live your life. But
I was too busy just getting some sugar in my veins. No, I have a terrible sweet tooth as well. I love candy, whatever shit that you get that is like jelly.
And they make it so good in the States.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Well, you know,
And especially I
Norway
like
as well.
the different tastes that we don't have here, like the different kinds of Oreos.
Right.
Last time I got Cinnabon Oreos. Did you know that something like that exists?
I didn't know that.
It's wonderful.
Sounds like Satan.
Makes me happy.
All right, let's get some more music going. I actually, on this topic, I want you to do. I'm not gonna, tell you to do a song because you've prepared whatever you prepared. But I would request. There's this song that you do in English called "Something Amazing," and I'd like you to do the song, and either before or after tell the story of it, because
Maybe before, so will people listen to the song and understand what I'm singing about?
You could. I don't know. I would have gone that way.
Okay, so it's your show, so let's do it.
Up to you.
Okay. Excuse me, miss, can I? Can I ask you a question? Do you have natural nails? Can I show you something amazing for only 20 seconds of your time? Come closer. Step into my office. See, it's a professional buffer. Has 3 sides. The black is made out of diamond dust, and the white is cotton, and the gray is the most magical side. It's gonna make your nails shine for 2 whole weeks. Come in, come closer, step into my office. Can I show you something amazing? Something amazing. Let me show you something amazing. Something amazing. For your nails. See, on a regular day we sell it for $39, $99. Even $39.99 is a wonderful price because you have some lotion, you have some cuticle oil, you have some lotion inside. It's actually for all of your body, baby. Seriously, all of your body. But today, only today, only for you, we have a special promotion going on, and it's only $29.99. Come here, put some lotion on. I know you want to. Can I show you something amazing? Something amazing. Let me show you something amazing. Something amazing. Who me? No, I'm not a salesman. Seriously, I'm really a musician. I came here all the way from far, far Israel just to make some money for my album. No, I'm not a salesman, no. But maybe you can think of someone else that would like this as a Christmas gift, because you know if you buy 2, you get a better price.
show you something amazing, something amazing. Can I show you something amazing, something amazing? Let me show you something amazing, something amazing. For your nails. I think that's an awesome. You know, I always thought that was like it's a hit, but then you listen to the words and you go, oh, you know, like I always thought, yeah, you should tweak the words, but actually no, because it's such a, you know, it's such an honest. It's such an honest song. Okay, tell the story.
Well, the words to those songs, to this song, is the sales pitch that I would say every day when I worked in the malls and we were selling. I was trying to make some money to pay for my first album, and we saw this magic buffer that makes your nail shine. So that's what I'm singing about. It's in a professional buffer. Makes your nails shine for 2 weeks, guaranteed. And when I was trying to learn the sales pitch by heart, and the second day of working, doing this, I was very frustrated. So I wrote this song, and it wasn't like, some people find it funny, but I think it works for a lot of people that work in the malls that really like it, connect to it, because it has like a bittersweet kind of thing. It feels a little bitter because the experience of selling something in the mall it could be great in some aspects, but it's also not an easy one.
But it's that typical artist struggle, basically, when like there's a joke about how do you call for a waiter in New York City, and the joke is you say, "Hey, actor."
Yeah.
You know, because you have to work to actually maintain your art or your craft, whatever. And I thought this song was just so on point with that.
Thank you.
And also the melodies, it's really, really catchy. I mean, I've had it, like, I've been to your show, and then I've had it just stuck in my brain for a week.
Thanks.
And you know, I've been cursing you for that, like, come on, get this song out of my head. But this song actually also starts to kind of show a bit of your musical influences, I think, because it's sort of, well, maybe you can tell more what, like...
You can hear the folk, kind of Paul Simon, Dave Matthews, kind of John Mayer, Jason Mraz thing, all mixed up.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, we share a very big, what do you say? We're huge fans of Dave Matthews. I think that's like, as far as playing guitar and singing, for me, that was like one of the biggest influences that I had. John Mayer as well. I mean, and you can start hearing that in your music. But like you also mentioned some of the musicians that played at the bitter end. But which one would you say kind of shaped your musical identity as you were growing up?
As I was growing up, more Israeli singers, I think, but there's different influences that I've had in writing music, in composing, in arranging, as opposed to writing lyrics.
So who are the Israeli ones, for instance?
So in lyrics, I would say definitely Danny Sanderson, Danny Robas. Meir Ariel, Shlomi Shaban, the first album, that definitely writing that feels that it's very genuine and upfront, not too many metaphors, just say what you think and feel, and does not take itself necessarily always that seriously.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things you have in your shows as well. You're always telling stories that are kind of with humor in it.
I just feel like, I mean, some artists like to be very important and dramatic about their work, and that's not how I feel. I'd like to keep it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a singer-songwriter. I sing songs, and this is what I have to say. And I'm not the prime minister, and I haven't stopped any wars yet. But you know.
Not yet. Not yet. You know, the butterfly effect.
Right.
Now, one of the things that I really like about your approach to not just the music, but how you market yourself as well, has been the honesty. You know, you're very, very honest about how hard it is sometimes, and how what you're doing at that moment is trying to draw people in, because you need people as an artist to appreciate your work. And instead of kind of glazing over and making everything very perfect and look at me how successful and glamorous I am, you've gone completely the other way and shown everybody the struggles of being an independent artist, and you've done it in a very charming way.
Thank you.
And also in a lot of ways, for me as well, I think that was liberating to see somebody actually dare to go and say, hey, this is really, really hard, and I'm struggling here. You know, come on, people, give me a hand.
Right.
And do it not in a begging way, not in like, oh, come on, help me out, but basically, come on, this is what we're standing for. We're actually a generation of the Israeli culture. We're a generation of the Israeli music scene. We're a generation of Israeli artists that if you support us now, that might be something that you will look back and say, hey, I was back. I went to those shows. I was part of that movement.
Right.
And you've been very vocal about trying to create that kind of feeling of, come along, be a part of this thing.
Right.
And
You're probably talking a lot about my crowdfunding project, which I did for my last album. But in general, I feel that it's important to be transparent and honest about if you're honest about your career, and I think people will also believe your songs more. Having said that, I definitely do not believe in, and some people unfortunately do that, don't believe in complaining all the time and saying how hard it is just to, gain sympathy. I would like to say, in an honest way, to my fans and people that like my music, I would like to say, for instance, in the crowdfunding project that I did, I said, listen, I'm not asking you to help fulfill my dream, but you should know that if you like my music, and I know some of you do because you keep saying you do, and you're coming to shows and you're sharing it on whatever, Facebook, you should know that if you do like my music and you do need, and you do want this next album to come out, I need your help, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I need you to support this album and make it happen before it happens, and I need you to buy it before we finish the process in the studio, and this is something that I'm proud to say, because I do feel that this voice needs to be heard more, of artists that say, because I don't think people understand enough how that some people think that just albums appear
out of thin air. They're just like boom.
Yeah, just okay, he's got an album, but no, this person that you're listening to his album or downloading it illegally, and he's not like very famous and successful, but he's just good and you're really enjoying it right now. He may not do another album if you don't go support him and buy his album. And I'm talking from experience, because I know people, I have friends that are good musicians that just stopped.
Yeah.
Just stopped. They couldn't do it anymore, because how many times can you take a big loan and not be able to make a good album, which is still very expensive, and not be able to pay it back and owe money for years?
Yeah.
And people just think, oh yeah, well, that's a great album and that's it. No, you need to support this guy.
Yeah, you need to support.
And so I feel that this is a voice that needs to be heard. And when I need to say it, I say it.
Yeah, but I think that point about not complaining is also important, because I think if you come out honestly and say, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's happening, and it's going to help out. You can actually help this come into creation.
Well, you know, it's I think one of the biggest struggles for musicians today, and for also a lot of people in the world that we live in, is to choose between stating to yourself and to the world how hard it is to do everything, how hard, it's so hard, rather than just seeing it as a challenge that you go through and a journey that you go through, and being able to look at what you have and say thank you. Mm-hmm. So me and you, we maybe not be big stars, and we can still walk in the street and without being hassled and
I have a hard time
and harassed, because you're very pretty, but it has nothing to do with your music. No, your music is good also. But anyway, I'm saying we're not, in terms of how people measure success.
Yes.
If you look at it in a superficial way, the dream that they sell you, so you can be very frustrated for not achieving that. But if you understand that music is connecting to people, and today you're in a room with 200 people or 5,000 people, and tomorrow you're in a room with 5 people, and you can connect with those 5 people as well. And it's about the journey and keeping and moving on all the time. So, and you're able to say thank you for just for doing whatever, for even the 5 people that you met, just like your music. So that then you're doing good, in my point of view.
I totally agree. I totally agree, and I mean I've had some of the best shows that I've ever played have been in rooms with, you know, that were almost empty, but the people that were there were completely into it, like, and that connection was as strong. I think now is the time to hear something from the second album. What do you say? Now we're taking
Sure.
we're not very chronological here, but I want to hear some more music.
Okay, this is Yom Gadol. זה יום גדול שהתנפצו חלומות על כל דלת שנסגרת עוד ייפתחו חלונות. זה יום גדול ששלחו לך חיוך בלי למכור לך משהו, בלי לשלם דמי תיווך. כשהיא שרה במקלחת זה יום גדול, כשמכבי מנצחת זה יום גדול. אל תגיד שהכל בורח, אל תגיד שאין לך יום גדול. תראה איך כל העולם מתלקח, אתה נהיה קרח, שוכח לפעמים. שזה יום גדול שיש לך את כל השיניים, שקיבלת מבט אחד אמיתי עמוק לתוך העיניים, שגדלת במילימטר. זה יום גדול שלא נעלמת בתוך העדר. זה יום גדול. אל תגיד שהכל אל תגיד שאין לך יום גדול, תראה איך כל העולם מתלקח, אתה נהיה קרח שוכח, לפעמים בורח, לפעמים. וגם אם זה נכון, אל תגיד שזה נכון. תשקר, תשקר, אל תגיד שזה נכון. שקרים לבנים קטנים, כאילו בטעות. שקרים לבנים יפים, עוד יהפכו למציאות. שהכל בורח, אל תגיד שאין לך יום גדול, תראה איך כל העולם מתלקח, אתה מתנבח, אל תגיד שהכל בורח, אל תגיד שאין לך יום גדול, תראה איך כל העולם מתלקח, אתה נהיה קרח שוכח לפעמים.
היי, דיני, זה בעברית בכתב, אני לא מבין. I'm sorry, I'm
What
getting...
she's saying here is that you need to sing a birthday song for Dalia.
Okay. Well, we actually did that, but I do want to say happy birthday to Dalia, who is the executive producer of the show, and she sits in New York right now. It's her birthday on the same day as my daughter, which is an amazing coincidence. So happy birthday to Dalia, and happy birthday to Renee if you're watching this as well, my darling. I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. We're kind of towards the end. I had a little part to play in that song, if I don't remember.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We're looking for a riff, and you happened to come by, and yeah, and you had a good idea, which evolved to the riff of the song.
Into the album version of the song.
That's right.
I think I'm gonna try not to ruin one of your songs. So this song that we're gonna be playing now is?
Well, it's called Gifts, and it's the first song that I wrote about my kid. And it's on an album that I'm working on right now in English, my first album in English.
Nice.
And it's just, me appreciating just getting this big gift that usually I don't feel that life, well, you'll get it from the words. Okay.
Okay. I think this is going to be the last song. I want to say thank you again to Dalia Razi and happy birthday. Thank you to Yuda Govais and Dini, the two producers here that are with us in studio. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
I am very happy. Hopefully this, you'll come back on episode 100 or something like that.
Okay.
That's not too long if it's a weekly show,
That's right.
So thank you guys for watching. Share this if you think it's interesting. You can find Rami at Rami Fainshtein on Instagram.
On Facebook, Instagram, all of that.
All of that.
Facebook is the best. And
Facebook
of course, all my albums are in Bandcamp and my YouTube channel. And just, pick one. Don't overdo it. But, yeah, okay.
Buy them all.
Exactly.
Buy them all. Go for it. Do support some culture today.
Yeah.
And buy all of Rami Feinstein's album. I am Amiram Eini. Amiram Eini, if you want to get American on us. And this was Undefined. So I give you gifts.
Looking for the fine print I have had a long day that's been going on for a couple of years. I want to thank you for giving me happy tears. Oh, 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 oh,
Thank you very much. Have a good night. So, an hour flies by really fast. That's amazingly nice to have this show and have this platform that I can invite my friends to. Next week, we'll see what happens, and we might have some nice surprises. We might have a different background, a little bit more fitting and not so high-tech. So keep coming back, and as I say, share and like, comment if you care. Thank you. Bye-bye.